Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. And y'all, oh my god, I love this wig, but it wasn't black. And okay, let me just give y'all a little background story. So boom, I had my mom's wedding. Okay, I had my mom's wedding to go to, and our dresses were like a turquoise blue. And y'all know I was like, brown hair with turquoise blue dress, it's not gonna go. So I wanted a jet black look. So as y'all can tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna be showing y'all how I dyed this wig to a jet black. It does look kind of black, but it's more like a 1B, and I wanted jet black. Like, I wanted it to be the blackest. Okay, this is what the lace is looking like. The hair is from Unice, and I believe it has the 3 combs. Yeah, it has the 3 combs. The length and all the details for the lace will be down in the description, so make sure y'all check that out. Alright, so what y'all see me doing here is I'm putting freeze spray all on the inside of the lace. This is to protect the lace, to make sure that the hair dye does not dye the lace, because that's ugly. We need the lace to be as natural as possible. So I'm going to let that dry. And I'm using Adore's Jet Black hair dye today. Now, I'm going to start by putting this in a little cup. If you guys see my video on how I added dark roots to a blonde wig, this is the same technique, except I'm just coloring the whole head, if that makes sense. I'm going to start with the lace first. But yeah, let's just get all of that. I believe I used 1 bottle for the frontal and then the other bottle for the watercolor method, because we are going to use that too. But I'll just show y'all better than I can tell y'all. Okay, so I'm taking little strips and strands and I'm applying it to the roots. I'm being very careful not to dye the lace. You could use an edge brush. I'm using this like makeup hair coloring brush, but you could use a comb, a brush, anything that is very fine, and make sure that you're taking little sections so that you don't get any hair dye on the lace. That's really important. Okay, so even though I'm telling y'all, like, oh, don't get no hair tie on the lace, I'm human, okay? I did it anyway. So that is why it is really important to use the Got To Be Freeze spray. You could use the gel itself and just, make sure you're applying it. But it's bound to happen. It's really hard to be really, really, careful and not getting anything on the lace. Sometimes the hair dye bleeds and runs, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so once I do that, I'm going to take this big old bucket, and I have some hot water in it, and I'm going to take, of course, the Adore Jet Black that we've been using, and same color that we use for the frontal. I'm going to add that into the water, and this is going to be our watercolor method for the rest of the wig. Now, keep in mind that if your hair is thick, you want to use a good amount of hair dye, especially if you have a lot of water and the hair is thick. You want the color to be completely saturated. Now, here's my little tip. So I took 2 bottles of the Jet Black, but then I also went on ahead and took the color Sin from Kiss, and I added a little bit in there. Now, the reason why I did this is because I'm not trying to go for a blue black, but I wanted to make sure that the brown would cancel out. So I did add a little bit of blue, just a little bit. You can't even tell by the water of the hair, but I added a little bit, and then I'm going ahead and start dipping or dip dyeing, whatever. Dipping the hair in there and making sure it's completely saturated. You want to comb through the hair and everything like that. As y'all can see, I did get fucking hair dye on my lace, and I was so scared. I thought that shit was gonna bleed. It was gonna stain the lace, and I was like, oh yeah, that's black. And I'm already rushing for the wedding. I'm fucked. So boom, I let it sit there for probably about 20-30 minutes, and this is what it's looking like. Nice and bomb. I went on ahead and bleached the knots and plucked it myself. Yeah, super cute, and it's definitely a jet black. I'm pretty sure y'all can tell the difference between the beginning of this video to now what the wig looks like. It's black, honey. Okay. So I'm going to start by cutting this wig into sections and then cutting that first section or the middle section, taking the excess lace off, using a zigzag motion to cut the lace. I'm going to use my bowl hold, and I'm only going to apply my bowl hold to the middle section, okay? Because that's what we're laying down first. It is a lot easier to work in sections if you know, are a beginner or you just really don't know how to lay wigs. It's easier to work in smaller sections. It's just like neater that way. It's more organized, and you really could focus on one thing rather than trying to lay a whole ear-to-ear frontal, if that makes sense. It's easy to do it with like little pieces. That kind of reminds me of like little closures all over the place. Let me not confuse y'all. Don't listen to me, child, but it is easier. So like I said, I'm going to my mom's wedding, and I don't want my wig to lift. I know I'm going to be drinking. I know I'm going to be dancing, sweating. It's going to be a lot. So I applied 3 to 4 layers of the bowl hold, and I waited until it dried clear and looks like that. And I'm going to apply the middle part of our lace directly on top of that lace glue. Keep in mind, you want to hold it there for a little bit just to make sure that glue sits in and everything is just like a nice and smooth. Then I'm going to take my comb, and yeah, there is time to fix it if need be, but I'm going to take my comb and I'm going to smooth everything and push the lace directly into the glue and just make sure everything is seamless and flat and melted, okay? So the same thing that I did to that middle section, y'all about to see me do now. I'm taking my scissors and I am cutting off the excess lace in a zigzag motion. You could use a razor too. I just didn't have one at the time, and I'm used to using scissors. But just make sure you want to cut in like a jagged motion. You don't want a straight blunt cut. Sorry, when you're cutting your lace. So I'm going to be applying my lace glue. Y'all keep in mind that I do lay my wig cap down with the lace glue once I apply it. As y'all can see me doing there, I'm going forward and backward and forward and backward because I want to have a thin layer of glue. But anyway, that's besides the point. When I apply my glue, I'm using thin layers, and a lot of y'all were kind of confused on what I meant by that. Just a little bit goes a long way. So if you put a little bit and you can see it turning clear, then you can add more. That's what I do, and I just think that works best for me. But I don't use a blow dryer, a hooded dryer. I don't use anything to let the glue turn clear. I just let the air do what it do, okay? I'm not in a rush. Well, I am in a rush for the wedding, but I'm not in a rush to mess up my wig, if that makes sense. Okay, so once everything is nice and clear, I'm gonna take my lace and lay it down little by little with my comb, just melting that lace directly into the glue, making sure everything is sticking, making sure that there's no like free hair flyaways. Now I do tend to miss some spots on my side, so I'll just go back in with the back of my rat tail and add a little bit of glue and smooth it out. And as y'all can see, it turns clear pretty fast if you're using a thin layer. So then I just lay that piece or whatever little section that I missed, I lay it back down and boom. Now I'm doing the same thing to the other side. We cut our lace. Y'all can see my arm going up and down because I'm cutting in like a zigzag motion. But yeah, we're gonna cut our lace, apply our glue, wait for it to dry, and then boom, tack our wig back down. Okay, so once all the lace is glued down, melted down, whatever, I'm going to take the rest of the hair, tie it up to just get it out of my way, out of my face. And I'm taking out my baby hairs now. Usually I don't do this, but I feel like for this wig specifically, I wanted to go on ahead and just take my baby hairs down, or pieces of hair that I would make as my baby hair. I'm going to take them down, and before I tie my scarf, I just want to have them out the way, so that when everything is laid and the lace actually does melt down, the baby hairs are just ready to go, if that makes sense. Because I'm in a rush, child, okay? This wedding is driving me crazy. I'm so glad it's over now that you guys are seeing this video. But I was literally rushing to put this wig on. And I feel like for me rushing, the install still came out bomb as fuck. Okay, so boom, I took my scarf off, and now I'm just plucking the hairs that we took off for our baby hairs. I'm just plucking, making sure that they're thin enough and they actually mimic, like, some of my baby hairs or some of my edges. If your edges is that thick, they're not considered edges, okay? They're just your hairline. I don't know, sis. I don't know what I'm talking about. But listen, all right, just do as I do. Do as I do, okay? Pluck your baby hairs to make them look more natural. Once you get them to the desired like thinness, and they actually kind of look like somebody's baby hair, you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut. I do cut like in a jagged motion, but whatever. I'm gonna use this Cantu curling foam kind of thing, and I'm going to slick down my baby hairs with my little edge brush. Y'all see me do this. And I actually do believe I have a detailed video on how I do my baby hair, so make sure y'all go check that out. I did go on ahead and I add like 2 little baby hairs on the sides as well, just because I felt like that was the look that I wanted for that day, okay? But yeah, you guys, all of my customized wigs and everything like that will be on my website. So go ahead and check that out. It's glambyty.com. It's also in the description below. So yeah, make sure y'all go check out my website for wigs. All right, I know some of y'all gonna chew me up for this, but the last clip of this video got deleted. So straight from here, I just straightened the wig, and then it was time for me to go meet my mom and the bridesmaids at the hotel before the wedding started, and I literally was rushing. So this is what the wig looked like. It was just a straight middle part, black, jet black, but at least I showed you guys how to do the black. Thanks for watching. Bye.